When anything becomes tough for you, it is only because your ego is making you alienate yourself from that thing. When you lose yourself and start merging with existence, nothing will be complicated. You will simply flow. Your intelligence will automatically work for you to harness the existential energy in you. You'll start seeing yourself as a miracle person. Things which seem beyond you will suddenly become seamless. You will move from ignorance to a deep awareness. Yes, what is the question? Swamiji, when we are in deep, dreamless sleep and when we are in real meditation, are we in the same no-mind state? No. When you are in deep sleep, you go to the level of the seed and come back to the state you were in before going to sleep. No growth happens in you. When you are in real meditation, you go to the level of the seed. The seed ruptures and you move on to the next higher state. That is the difference. They are two extremes. Of course, when you look from outside, extremes look alike. A madman looks like a mystic and a mystic looks like a madman. Both of them have lost their minds, but in different directions. Yes? Swamiji, how is it that you're so beautiful always? Yes, this is an interesting question. How do I appear beautiful always? You see, if it was only this form, my form that you find beautiful, that you are being pulled to, the pull will waver with time. It will waver with situations, attires and whatnot. Just think, you see me in the same attire, listen to the same songs, hear the same voice every day, and yet you are here with as much eagerness as ever. Do you think you would be able to continue like this with anyone else in your life? Understand, it is not the person, it is the presence that radiates the beauty that you feel, that pulls you. As far as you are concerned, you are a person. As far as I am concerned, I am simply a presence, that's all. The egoless presence is so powerful that it simply lures you. There are so many male models and actors who are so good looking and with a much better personality, am I right? With all of them, you might be attracted, but not with a longing from deep within, like with me. Here, the longing is from your being, because your being sees the divinity behind the form. It is the only concern of your being. The egoless presence is so ecstatic for your being. That is why you are here again and again. That is why you are again and again drawn towards me. You see, the longing to feel God is in the depths of every man, but it is not tangible to himself. When you see me, you feel a pull and you wonder what that pull is. That pull is the call of your being. But you immediately start thinking what it might be. You know only to apply your mind and reduce everything to logic. God is beyond logic. That is why you cannot explain with your logic why you feel a pull towards me. All of you simply sit here gaping at me and wondering what it is that makes you gape so much for hours together without even batting an eyelid. When the longing within is deep, this will happen. The longing is the longing to reach home. For many lives, you have tried to fulfill this longing, but have been unsuccessful. And so you come back again. You take another birth. When you feel this longing, some of you pursue it and start your journey inwards, while some of you get scared and escape. You linger in the outer circles and keep watching me, so that if anything happens, you can easily run away. I have to then cheat you and teach you and show you that you have arrived and that there is nothing more to be done except letting go of your ego. You always operate from fear because you have been taught that way. Fear is a passive form of ego. You're so afraid that you might give in, and so you maintain a distance under the guise of fear. Don't think that fear is something humbling. Fear is a very deceptive form of ego. You're so afraid to let go. You're so afraid that you might dissolve. Understand, existence is love. It is only love and nothing else. Also, existence knows you because you are a part of it. If existence doesn't know you, then who does? So there is nothing to fear about. You don't have to put on any pretensions with existence. You can just be your own ordinary self, and existence will continue to shower on you. Existence knows only to love and forgive. It does not know any other virtue. You judge existence by your own egoistic and so-called moral standards. That is the problem. That is why you start doing things like these. When you know you are a part of existence, you will feel liberated. When you think that you are separate from existence, you will fall into misery. It is such a great feeling being part of existence. Because of your ego, you feel you are different from existence. When you turn your journey inwards, you'll become increasingly aware that you are part of existence. Awareness will slowly replace ego. When awareness takes over, ego has to dissolve. There is no other way. Until awareness takes over, you will feel you are a solid entity, and then you will disconnect yourself completely from existence. Actually, the whole sky is there for you to see. But you see it through your window, just how much your elbow allows you to see, and you think that the sky inside the frame is the real sky. All such games are nothing but games of ego. Being aware of this is the first step towards getting out of it. Awareness is the master key with which you can open any lock inside yourself. That is why again and again I say, bring in awareness. Yes? Swamiji, how would you describe your concern for us? My only concern for you is to help you to flower. That is the greatest thing that I can do for you and you can do for me. I want people to realize their innate bliss, their potential energy. Right now, man thinks that he is a human being looking for a spiritual experience. He needs to understand clearly that he is a spiritual being looking for human experience. I am working on teaching him that. And the only way he can learn it is by becoming aware of the forms of ego that are making him feel that he is a human being instead of a spiritual being. When man moves from praying to becoming, he has found the key. Swamiji, how does the transformation happen when one meditates? And can you tell us more about the role of the master? When a person meditates, all his base emotions like anger, lust, jealousy, over-attachment, etc., get transformed into a higher energy. This propels him into higher realms of consciousness and awareness. Then he will not be restless like before. Transformation of energy can happen only through meditation. When this transformation happens in every individual, the whole of society gets transformed. There will be lesser violence and more global harmony. The most practical way to global peace is through transformation of the individual. With meditation and the Master's guidance, the transformation is a process that you go through to destroy all that is not you. It is a painful process that you go through with the Master because you have to let go of all the things that you held close to your heart, all the things that you thought was you. The Master will continuously show you what all you are not, and everything will start dropping.